Welcome to Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater. Issues and Answers is presented as a public service to inform, educate, and better the lives of New Mexicans. And now, Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater.
Welcome to the program. I'm Diane Kinderwater. Yes, the new year is here. What, Diane? The new year? Well, how about the new growing season year? It's just around the corner. We're here in the fall and going to be winter soon, but it's not too soon to think about what can I grow in my garden? What can I grow in the pots on my patio right now? And if you want some help and you want some training, how can you get involved in the Master Gardener program here in the state of New Mexico, here in many of our counties, Bernalillo, Sandoval, and Santa Fe. Many counties have the program. Well, we have the answers for you on this show. I'm learning a lot. My guests are laughing at me for what I don't know, but we're going to learn more and we're going to have more laughs as we continue discussing with the New Mexico State University Extension Program and all they provide all of us. So please stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
The National Education Association of New Mexico, a union of teachers and school staff, believes every child deserves to learn at a school that inspires their imagination, cultivates their curiosity, and ensures a fulfilling life. Public schools should provide all our students with small class sizes and one-on-one attention. NEA New Mexico asks you to join us so together we can end the teacher and staff shortage and invest in our public education system once and for all. Sponsored by NEA New Mexico.
Welcome back to the program. We're talking about trees and tomatoes and peppers and lettuce and beautiful roses, everything that we love to grow. Roses have a specialty when you come to the Master Garden program. I'm going to find out why are roses so special. We identified just certain programs for them. But the folks with the answers are here in the studio, and thank you so much, Lynda Garvin. She's with the Extension Program. She's an agriculture agent and the State Master Garden Program Manager. That means not just Bernalillo County, Sandoval, or Valencia, or Santa Fe, but throughout the entire state.
Right, and I'm not really an ag agent anymore. Just, I don't have any NMSU swag shirts. So.
But you're a Master Garden Program Manager.
I am the program manager for the state. Yes.
Thank you. Sarah Moran, she is the Extension agent and New Mexico State University, Bernalillo County Cooperative Extension Services, right here in Bernalillo County. Thank you so much. Did I shock you when I said the new year is here? No.
It's TV, what?
No, it's not shocking?
No.
Because it is. You've got people interested in your Master Garden program throughout the state of New Mexico.
Yes, we're starting to get emails saying, when does training start? I want to be a Master Gardener. What do I do? How do I join up? So in 2020, halfway through COVID hit, we normally would do training in person in those counties that have programs. We had to switch on a dime and do online training. So we've done that, and last year, for the first time, we have an online training course for Master Gardener training, which starts in January. So this will hopefully increase the diversity of the program, because right now, if you have to devote one afternoon every week for 4 months, a lot of people who are working don't have that time available to them. So this way, it's online. You have the lectures, the question and answer periods. You do it online at your own pace within that week period, and it goes for 4 months. So you can do it on the weekend or in the evenings, whatever is convenient for you. And then do your volunteer service within your county, because the whole idea is to train Master Gardeners with the knowledge and the skills and the abilities that they need to answer questions from the public. So it starts in January, goes through April. If you go to our Master Gardener website on NMSU's nmsu.edu, then you can see what county you're in, and you can call the county office. They have the applications for their specific county, because each one has slightly different requirements, like the number of volunteer hours, the different kinds of projects that they have that volunteers work on, and if they have even a helpline to help answer questions. So that's all county dependent. So all that information is there through your county office about the cost of the program and the application form. But it's all going to be online this January, starting the second week in January.
And why, what's your experience, Sarah, why do people want to be part of this program?
They want to be because our volunteers also give back to the community. We also participate in community gardens, for example, at the Extension Office or Demo Garden, plant, grow, and maintain our garden. And once we harvest all the produce, we donate that to our food banks. And we also offer other services at schools, public libraries, farmers markets. We also give classes and other kind of things that our volunteers like I say, give back to the community. And they also like to work on their gardens. They feel appreciation for nature as well. Many master gardeners are also master composters or master naturalists. So they feel that connection with nature. And I think it's a program that can give you, that can provide you a nice, nice, it's worth for you as a person because you give back to the community and you also connect with nature.
Yeah, and tagging on to what Sarah said about food, we have 14 different food donation gardens across the state, and last year they grew over 99,000 pounds of fresh produce that they donate to regional and local food banks and different places that give out fresh produce and food stuffs to needy populations. And food security is a big component of the Master Gardener program, so people may not think of our program as doing that kind of service for their communities, but I know for a lot of food banks such as St. Felix's and Rio Rancho, certain times of year the donations for fresh produce coming from the Master Gardener donation gardens, if they weren't there, they wouldn't have any fresh produce for people. So it's really beneficial.
So I understand at the Extension Office, over on Manal in Bernalillo County, you have a garden there. The produce you produce goes to these food banks. But you're saying now throughout the state, they are gardens just set up for food banks?
Absolutely. Sandoval has two. The C2 Need Garden, which has been going on for many years now and has won national awards. I think they're at 3 acres now. They have several orchards, so they produce like 65,000 pounds of fresh produce a year. They have hundreds of volunteers, not just Master Gardener volunteers, but Boy Scouts, church groups that come and put in the irrigation system, plant things, harvest things, maintain the garden, weeding. They go out and glean orchards where people have a lot of fruit trees and it's just maybe 1 or 2 people and you have 10 fruit trees, to take that fruit to the local food banks.
Is this all overseen by the Master Garden program?
Well, these programs are absolutely, yes. So
where is that? What community was that?
C2 Need is in Corrales, and then we have the Corrales Family Practice Garden, which is a smaller garden, but they're growing, thousands of pounds of produce as well, just on a small little, less than a 1/4 acre.
If people want to just volunteer, they don't have to go through the extensive Master Garden program. How would they?
Well, it depends on that donation garden, whether they're strictly, but I think most of them have volunteers from all over. You might have to sign a waiver, saying you won't hold them liable if you get hurt, but most, will take any volunteer to come and work in the garden.
Wow. That's interesting. Throughout the state we have those. What other programs do we have, Lynda, that are kind of unique like that?
We have a lot of seed libraries that Master Gardeners have started in various locations.
Seed?
Yep.
Like this?
So they have them set up maybe in a library, or maybe it's in the
like
office. So you can go in and check out seed packets for your garden, and it's for free. We also...
Where are those?
There's a lot. Sandoval County has one in the county admin building. Santa Fe has a seed library. I think that's in the actual library. Bernalillo County. So
when you grow your tomato or your pepper, you collect some seeds and bring them back to the library?
Well, that's kind of the next step. Right now, pretty much we're getting leftovers from the growing season from national seed companies, but the idea, I want to have an online seed saving course, and Sarah and I have done seed saving classes together to do training of trainers of master gardeners to start growing plants for seed, like tomatoes for seed, saving them, and then sharing those with their communities. So doing seed swaps. I know Cibola County has a seed swap every year, and those are from plants that people have grown in their gardens, and they're sharing like their tomato varieties. So every time you take a seed from, let's say you buy a seed in a packet, that plant, once it's gone through a growing season and you save that seed, it's better adapted to our climate, our soils, our water.
The seed from that
The
fruit.
seed from that plant. So each year that you're collecting your seed and planting it, it's keeping up with climate change. It's adapting to those changes in our climates. So you're producing seed that's better adapted for growing here in New Mexico. So that's the plan, is to get those seeds from master gardeners and other people who are donating seeds that they have cultivated in their own gardens season after season, and sharing that with their neighbors.
Wow. Do you find, Sarah, when they grow a plant, fruit, vegetable, fruit, or a flower, do they save their own seeds and replant them themselves, or do they get the free packets? Because I just envision people just got packets every year, but I'm just learning it's better to use the seed from their
Yeah, in our
past
case, our seed library is mostly for schools and community project, not so much for individuals. We do have a seed saving volunteer group among master gardeners, and hopefully, in the future, as we move forward, we should be able to collect seeds, locally adapted seeds, and we should be able to share those.
But the master gardeners themselves, Lynda, do they know what you know that they should use their own seeds?
We hope they do, but everybody's learning, and it depends on how long they've been in the program, whether that has been a passion of mine and Sara's. So we're both very much into seed saving. I would say I'm always collecting seed. I can't not. Just when I'm hiking, I'll see seed pods and collect them. So a lot of people do. I would say many do not. So we're trying to have more classes so people know about it, how to do it. It's really very simple. Some people are actually creating their own tomato varieties. We had a Sandoval master gardener create a Coronado Gold tomato that was low acid. So it can be that extreme where they're actually coming up with their own varieties and selecting for certain traits, or just keeping seeds from healthy plants and planting them the next year.
And you will get so many different varieties, colors, shapes, by that. And you don't need much. Like, you don't need 100 plants to start with that. Just one will do it.
Oh, interesting. What other things do we see statewide, Lynda, on our programs?
Statewide, so I'm in charge of making sure that volunteers get the foundational learning that they need to do their work in their communities to help spread that science-based information. Like, where are those resources that they need to share with the public that is science-based and approved by the university. So that is above, that's across all the counties. What else?
Well, I just learned that we have master garden programs or different programs in various counties where they raise bounty for shelters, homeless shelters, or food banks. I didn't realize that, but are there? I think maybe here in Albuquerque there might be the club, the flower club, over on I-40.
The garden center.
The garden center that has beautiful gardens. But are there garden centers and other programs and?
Like Santa Fe, they have a cactus garden they maintain, and they have a master gardener who's very knowledgeable about cacti and different varieties and how to take care of them, how to prune them. You actually can
carefully. I imagine carefully.
Exactly.
Prune them carefully.
Taking care of demonstration gardens, like at historical centers. Let's see what
we have
else
some of
do
those
people do.
throughout the state.
We do. Like Sandoval had the Historical Society has a demonstration garden that master gardeners maintain. Like I said, Rio Rancho has the Waterwise Garden next to the Veterans Park, which they maintain. So it depends on the county, what they're doing and what populations they're working with, but they're usually demonstration gardens where they show different varieties, right plant, right place, so what varieties do well here, instead of fighting Mother Nature, working with Mother Nature and selecting those plants that will do best where you live specifically, not just the whole state of New Mexico, because there's different elevations, different soils types.
That's a lot.
So there's a lot of diversity in the programming, depending on the interests of the agent as well as the master gardeners themselves, who start new projects because they're interested, let's say, in roses, or maybe they're interested
That's why I thought I saw something about roses. You have your own
there's
section
a
on
big-
roses.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's such a popular flower, or it's a difficult flower?
It is very popular. It does do well here.
Yep.
I think in Albuquerque we also have a Rose Society group as well, and Master Gardeners help with one of the rose gardens in town as well. So yeah, it's very popular. But I think that is across the state. There is, I don't know, thousands of varieties of roses released every year.
Why do you think they're so popular, roses?
They can do very well. They're very showy. I like the ones that have fragrance. I'm very disappointed when they don't have any fragrance at all. But they're relatively easy to grow here. Pruning, yeah, it's not that difficult.
Carefully.
Yeah, carefully. But they're very showy. A lot of people came from out of state, and it's something that reminds them of back home. It's a universal flower that, given for a sign of love, and it's just very popular.
I guess I thought it was difficult. My great aunt had a rose bush, and we were all mesmerized that she had it, but I thought it was maybe difficult.
No, some varieties do really well here, like Banks roses. They become huge. They can be hedges or cascading over trellises. They do really well. They're very showy. They're very bright. And in our, where we have a brown landscape, a lot of the time it's just something that brings a pop of color to the landscape.
What about sunflowers?
Sunflowers, yes, absolutely.
Sunflowers are popular. Many different varieties, shades of yellows as well. They will attract birds too, which is to me kind of nice. Some people might find that not that nice, but yeah, especially when they start to set seeds, that's where you're gonna start seeing some birds. And you can also use those as a living barrier in places where there is a lot of winds. So the height helps to kind of prevent or minimize some of the wind impact on your
What's the
garden.
popular one in Santa Fe that grows kind of wild, the tall, not sunflowers, not gladiolus? I see most of the paintings. Okay.
I don't know.
I'll think of it. What's this down to
Hollyhocks.
Hollyhocks.
There you go. Yes, that's another. They do really well in our climate, and it's real easy to save the seed heads. Dries right on the plant. Just pull them off, and
Are they annuals, or what's the difference? Annuals or perennials? Hollyhocks.
Annuals are,
I think they
I'm sorry,
reseed.
yeah, hollyhocks are annuals, but
Yes.
since they reseed, you're probably gonna see them every
year after year.
Yeah.
Same with maybe sunflower seeds,
Yeah.
sunflowers.
Oh yeah, they will
absolutely.
pop up all over.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your down to earth, a gardener's guide to the Alp? This is a big. We need this big of a book for Albuquerque.
Yeah, the Down
Wow.
to Earth is a book.
This is huge.
That it's pretty much put together by volunteers of the Albuquerque Area Master Gardener. It covers a lot. It covers fruit, ornamental trees, roses, even vegetables. It is also has different sections about what you have to do like every month during the year. Like March, you need to start planning on what you're gonna grow, this and that. Everything about
Who
that.
produces that, Sarah?
This is for the Albuquerque Area Master Gardener Program. So a lot of volunteers collaborated, like for example, if someone lives in the East Mountains, they probably just write their experience. This is what I have, this is what I had done wrong, and this is what I did to improve, and these are like tomato varieties that have worked best for me, and that kind of thing. So yeah, it has very details, and if you're new to the area, or if you need a refresher to kind of know how to grow, I think this is the best start.
Good
Yeah.
resource. And
Yes.
a part of the state program that I'm going to start working on is getting lists of trees and shrubs and landscape plants and vegetable varieties from all over the state so that you can say, hey, I live in Las Cruces, have it on our website, just a list of the top 10, here's the top 10 tree species for your area. So you don't have to struggle and spend thousands of dollars planting and failing because you're not planting the right tree or the right shrub or the right flower variety.
And when will this be available,
Well,
Lynda?
I'm working on it. I'm going to be depending on master gardeners in those areas to say, hey, this works for me and why it works for me. So it's citizen science through master gardener programming.
You both have such a passion for this.
Yeah, well, yes.
Why, Lynda Garvin? Why? Where does it come from?
I always love nature. I always love getting to know the plants and the birds. It's just something in my DNA. I need to know what plants are. They give me such peace and calm, and it's part of my spiritual practice to be out in nature, and it centers me and calms me, and I just like getting my hands dirty and growing things. It's amazing.
It is. Sarah Moran, how does your passion?
Yeah,
Where does
I
it come
think
from?
it comes from family. We were always surrounded by nature, by insects, plants, birds, you name it. And I think plant people are always your kind of people, are always good people. So yeah, it's a career that connects both nature and people and giving back to the community. So that's good.
Do you feel it's more important than ever?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why, Lynda?
Why? Because our climate is changing very rapidly, and we need to do all that we can to help protect, our home, Mother Earth. So planting what we can, taking care of what's growing there, taking care of our bird populations, providing habitat and water sources, especially here in the desert. I mean, everyone has needs, and gardening helps supply a lot of different needs for a lot of living creatures, including plants and people.
Including people. Sarah?
Yeah, and once again, it brings you a sense of community. You're probably not gonna be able to eat all your tomato fruit, but you can share that with your neighbor. You can share that with your family, and that again, that sense of community. It's there, and it's a way to teach kids or new generation and even older generations a lot of things. So yeah,
Wonderful. The master program, again, it's going to be online.
It's online starting in January.
Any in person, or is it all online now?
Well, that's this is just the foundation, your starting point. So that's online with a live Q&A session with whoever taught that class that week. But each county should support that program with some in-person classes, workshops, and social events to help build community within the organization and also put into practice what they're learning online.
And it's quite extensive.
Right, it's 14 weeks. Yeah, it's a big time commitment. You learn a lot. It can be overwhelming, and it's just the start of that journey to keep learning. Master gardeners are lifelong learners, so no matter how long they've been with the program, they're constantly learning new things and really reaching out to the community and sharing that information with their community.
And you asked to give back how many hours at least?
It depends
Maybe
on the
50.
county. So
Okay.
I know Bernalillo County requires 50,
for us is 40.
40
40
hours.
hours.
For Bernalillo County.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sandoval's 40 hours. 10 of that, after you do your initial training, is continuing education. So 30 hours of working on a project, helping with the hotlines, doing whatever meets your schedule and feeds your passion for whatever it might be, roses or vegetable production or answering questions even. So.
Yeah.
And you brought your little props with you today. Thank you, Sarah. Huh?
Yeah, we have insects, some common insects. We also have some tools that we use online, not online, but the garden as well. Yeah, so yeah, we do have
It's
some
a hoe
things.
and a rake.
Yes, yeah. So those are probably your two. This is going to be very good for weeds, because if you have a garden, you're going to have some plants out of space, and that's where your weeds are going to come. Yeah, and if you need to clean up, rake some leaves, all the leaves, do good in the soil, the organic matter for your soil. Yeah. But yeah, you can use some of that. Now, this is mainly for kids because we also do some, school projects as well. But yeah.
Are there any programs in Bernalillo County, or if you know of other counties, where people can go to your extension office for classes other than online?
Yes, well, in general, the Extension Office offers classes not only on gardening, but also like canning classes, preserving food, that kind of thing. Right now.
But there are gardening classes?
Yes,
Oh.
We do have. Through the Master Gardener, we offer in-person classes January through April, open to the public every Tuesday at the Garden Center. So,
so you can do the master program online or
yes,
through the garden center in person.
And but that is not the Master Gardener program. It's mainly classes open to the public.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, very good. We've got just a couple minutes, Lynda. Thank you so much for all you've done and to share your passion with us. It's wonderful to see.
Thank you.
And you didn't laugh at me that much.
We're all learning, Diane.
Yes.
We don't know
I might
everything.
be past the
We're
learning
always
curve.
learning. Yeah, no. You never
Anything
get
that you'd like to share in the last minute about getting involved and things that we don't know that we should know?
Yeah, just if you have a passion for gardening and you want to share that information and meet up with other gardeners, Master Gardeners is a great way to do that, especially if you're new to New Mexico. You want to meet friends, like Sarah said, your kind of people, Master Gardeners. It's a great group to be involved with.
And you have social events with them as well.
Absolutely.
You keep them all involved. Sarah Moran, what would you like to share that we may not know?
The Extension Office, it's open to help you with anything that you need relating to gardening or small farmers issues or some fruit preservation, nutrition issues. Yeah, so we're here to serve the Bernalillo County community, so please reach out.
And if they don't come to you, you go to them sometimes. We may see you at farmer markets throughout the state. Master gardeners there
Yes.
helping.
Yeah.
Everybody loves them because it's that time of year. But again, thank you both for being a part of this program and for what you do for our community. And it isn't too late to think about this being the new year, because we know we smell the chili in the air. We know fall is here, and
Yes.
soon will be the new year, and time to get involved with the master program.
Right.
Yeah.
And planning your
Wonderful.
garden, right?
Planning-
Absolutely.
Never too late to do that.
Never.
Thank you so much for being, again, part of the show. And thanks, Casey at Jeff TV, for bringing you this show. I'm Diane Kinderwater. Make it a great week with your family. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, helped me pay for my house. Being part-time really helped because I could have some opportunities that were still in education.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater is presented as a public service to inform, educate, and better the lives of New Mexicans. To comment on today's program or to purchase a copy of any Issues and Answers program, visit sunbroadcasting.org or call us at 505-345-1991.